I'm going to write a column based off of what this guy said on Twitter. Ron Slay, former Vol, joins us now. The Slay Ride, the Boom Boom Room, it's all that and more. He's texting like he's just going crazy. He's so excited to text and say, Billis, I'm coming for you. And you just wait. And I'll tell you what, that prime spot, that's mine, baby. And that's what's going on right now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. I was hitting send on this message. Yeah, right then and there. You caught me.
You better start growing some hair, Billis. I'm coming. Hey, man. In all seriousness, can I take a second?
Yes.
You are knocking it out of the freaking park on SEC Network. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm zero surprised, but I'm so proud and happy for you. I know it seems like to a lot of people it's like an overnight success, but I know you've worked really hard. So I just want to say kudos, my man.
Man, I appreciate that, Dave, man. You got to see it. You got to see it all take shape and form from a little young pup, guy running out there with the scream mask to what we have today.
I was actually the first, like, the Ron guy's a really good talker. And I didn't tell anybody because I don't know if you remember how it was set up, but you guys would talk before practice.
Yep.
So the newspaper guys, I was a radio guy, and it was hard for me to get something different for the next day.
Yeah.
So I would try to wait around, and I would wait for people to stop talking to you so that I could interview you, so that I'd have something fresh that wasn't in the paper for the next day. So I was like the Ron stalker.
One thing about it, I was gonna give you something.
You did. Every time I was like, I'm hurting. I need Ron.
That was kind of, I was just young, but that was kind of a known thing even among fans though at the time, because when Ron made just the beautiful pass to John Higgins for the half-court shot to beat Georgia Tech, the lead story was a couple of times there were a few lead stories on there saying, y'all be careful talking to Ron Slay. He might just tell you he should start a quarterback for Tennessee.
Yep. I remember it. This is my Peyton Manning, T. Martin moment.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so let's get to it. You brought it up. Ron's appearance brought to you by Dynasty Pools and Spas right there in Athens, their showroom, and they deliver Knoxville and Chattanooga. All right, you brought it up on the Twitter, and I was like, I want to talk to Ron about this.
Yeah.
We're talking about Dalton Knecht being SEC Player of the Year. That's almost dissing him, Ron.
Yeah, it is, man. I don't understand why we're still harping on, oh, that wrapped it up. That wrapped the race up right there. That was, man, he's been, if you go each outing, even in losses, he's wrapping the race up. Like it's everybody else. And I listen, you got to give credit to Mark Sears and Antonio Reeves. I think those are the two that, you know, if you had to go for a close second, is who would be between. But man, you got to go outside of that. It's a National Player of the Year conversation when it comes to Dalton Knecht. The reason being, you got to imagine when you look back over the years and you think about National Player of the Year, it's dominant performances with the lights being the brightest when everybody is watching, and he delivers. You think back to Adam Morrison, the things he was doing, Jimmer Fredette, the things he was doing. You look at Buddy Hield when he was at Oklahoma, the things he was doing. Like the list goes, even recently, Luka Garza, when Luka Garza was on fire or out, it was moments like this, like he's digging them out of a hole. Now, Big Zach Edey, I understand, man, this is dominant every day, day in and day out. When you watch him play, and he has a good group around him. But I can't see Edey pulling Purdue out of a hole. Like if they get down 15, get down 10, that game's pretty much a wrap because he's not going to be out there shooting threes. You're gonna be fine with letting him get his buckets and then going down and trading for twos, making him get out and guard the pick and roll or something. I think the weak link for Dalton Knecht may have been defensively, but he's tightened it up ever since the Texas A&M game at College Station when they were taking turns picking on him and driving on him and getting them in foul trouble. We haven't seen that since. He's not running and hiding. He's looking for the moment, and he's taking the moment. There's no more. We can almost schedule it during the game. Oh, this starts to look like this is about when Dalton Knecht would take over, and it happens. And he doesn't take a step back. The only knock I would give on him now is, dude, just knock your free throws down. Just make your free throws so we can get some 40-point games or something. Then we can really have this conversation. But that's my take on it, man. If this was any other year or any other conference, any other school, blue bloods or whatever. Imagine if this was taking place at a North Carolina or at a Kentucky or at a Kansas or at a Big East Syracuse or something like that. Imagine what we would be saying about this.
Amen.
It wouldn't even be a question.
Even at Georgetown.
Exactly. If you even just put them on the East Coast in one of them schools, like you it's no way this would be a conversation.
Well, Ron, it's funny you say that because I agree with some limitations on court storming, but that Kyle Flipowski, that was look at the way ESPN was like, oh my God, he was so hurt. I mean, Duke is like the ultimate Karens of college basketball. If there was a Karen of college basketball,
that whole situation, dog. Like I thought that was a weird situation. That was a look at me moment in a sense. Yes, I want him to be okay, but at the same time, man, you 7 foot. You know how to protect yourself when you see a court storm come. You're not going to walk like you're in the park, you know what I mean? Like a casual walk. And you got to have the right energy and the right spirit about yourself. To me, in my opinion, he was about to push that kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there may be some tensions there, but he was about to do something that he shouldn't have been trying to do as far as protecting himself or getting off the court. He was going to do something. Karma came back and bit him, and that's what you got.
Yeah, totally. I actually kind of agree with you on that.
Hey, Caleb agreed with me. What?
Won an award.
Well,
you practically have to be an advertiser for him to agree with you on this.
I'm about to push back though on
I knew it was coming.
It was just a nice setup, Ryan. Okay, because I got to get back to Dalton Knecht.
Yeah,
Ryan, I love you. I love what you're saying about Dalton Knecht. But you just you just suggested maybe player of the year over Zach Edey.
Yes.
Given Zach Edey's numbers. Now, I made the hot take yesterday. I can't even say Dalton Knecht is the most important player on Tennessee because I've been saying Tennessee goes as Jonas Edey goes, even though Dalton Knecht's the better player. Like, Tennessee can win a game when Dalton Knecht scores single figures. They've done it. Can Purdue win a game if Zach Edey doesn't score double figures?
That's a great question. I think things that have to be put into context too. With me saying Dalton Knecht should we National Player of the Year is not a knock to Zach Edey. I think that's got to be said too. Like I'm saying, it should be a race. Like we should be mentioning Dalton Knecht with him. Like
at conversation.
When the conversation's going, like we need to at the end of the day say, okay, let's line it up. This is where it needs. To me, it's not even a conversation. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I just think like if this was, that's why I throw the blue blood programs out there. If you talk about one of these schools at Duke, can you look how we talk about Filipowski and he ain't even doing nothing this year? You know what I'm saying? We talking about a guy that's worked his way into damn near a lottery pick. Like we talk about draft potential and things of that nature. I don't think when we talk about Edey, we ain't talking about that with Edey. It's a foregone conclusion that maybe he goes undrafted. This could be the back-to-back player of the year that's undrafted. What does that say? So that'll be even more reason if I was college basketball, I would be thrusting him up to the forefront to let people know 23-year-old, fifth-year guy grounded his way up. Now look at him. He's National Player of the Year. And then in the conference alone, when you talk about bringing separation, and 6 or 7, 8 years ago, when Commissioner Sankey said, we want to take basketball serious in the SEC, it's nothing more serious than winning the national championship or having the National Player of the Year in your conference, your basketball conference then.
Ron, I think he's the best story in basketball, and it's incredibly undercovered.
Without question.
When I talk to people that are very casual college basketball fans, and I say, that man, did you go out of your way to watch Dalton Knecht Wednesday night? Because he is just special. And they say, nah, I didn't notice that yet. That surprises me. Why is he not getting more coverage?
I don't understand it, man. I think a lot of it is when you look at it, there's the powers that be in the SEC. You automatically point to football. It dominates the landscape, man. When you talk about NFL, then college football, and it going year round, and especially the SEC, you kind of bat an eye at it. Did they catch lightning in a bottle? Do we really want to pay attention to it? Let's see them do something. Can it be consistent? I think, man, you look at it, and you talking about the best players in the last 2 years, regardless of Zach Edey, what he did in his dominant performance last year. I still say Brandon Miller was the best player in college basketball last year. And then you scratch your head and you come right back. And Dalton Knecht is the best player in college basketball. They do things at the wing position. And this is a big man talking that you can't get. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere else. What you can do as a point guard and a big, you can go win tournaments. But what you can do as a wing, dominating the game, is electric. And kids gonna rival. They want to be a part of it. Older people, they can't wait to buy their tickets to come get their popcorn and watch you. It's just exciting when a wing does it, especially at his size. The way he does it is nothing. It's undervalued.
Yeah, Ron, I vote for the Heisman. You might too. It frustrates me a lot of the voters that don't take it seriously, and they base it off preseason hype. Basketball voters for the Wooden Award, I think, have been more flexible. I think a guy can come out and have 1 year. It's just the Edey thing is so unusual with the way he stayed because he's not a great fit in the NBA. It's hard to overcome that pub. Just speaking from a guy in the media.
Yep. I don't know how you go against it because to Caleb's point, like you point at the numbers and it's like win or lose, like those numbers are going to be consistent. He'll go get 35 and 15, no matter who they're playing, whether they get beat by 40 or they win by 40. And that right there to me is impacting the game in a different way when you're talking about Dalton Knecht. Like to be down in these games, in matchups, in conference play, where it's physical, out there on the perimeter, and you be able to pull your team out of a hole against a team that's 5th ranked nationally defensively. That's not supposed to happen. You should not outscore this team. Like it'll be different if they were lacking offensive ability. We just watched Aiden Holloway go bananas against Georgia from the point guard spot. Like they should be able to put the ball in the hole. I was a scorer and I love to get the ball anywhere out there. I felt like I could score. I never received a triple team ever. They ran 3 people at this man to get the ball out of his hands. Like what? At some point, man, you got to throw the numbers out and believe what your eyes are showing you. It's been consistent enough.
Yep.
Yeah, I think what stood out to me, Ron, the other day is we knew Dalton was a scorer, but the thing that was so intriguing to me was Tennessee. Part of their formula for winning is Zakai being Zakai.
Yes.
And Jonas Aidoo doing what he does down low. Dalton scoring when they need a bucket, but also having the hot hand. The crazy part is Dalton is the scorer, but he can also have the hot hand.
Yes.
And he did the other night. He went from Superman to the assassin. I thought about it the other day, the opening line to that 50 album and Get Rich or Die Trying, when they said, they say I walk around like I got a S on my chest. That's a semi-auto with a vest on my chest.
Yeah.
Dalton Knecht right there.
That is. I like it.
Might as well be on a different stream right now.
I was gonna say, Dave, you might not know about that right there. We'll bring you up the
ball. I gotta get my AARP registration. Filled out. Y'all go
these are
ahead.
The type of tunes we listen to down there on Hooker's Corner when you leave, man. That's all it is. You know what I mean?
When the lights go off and Dave gets out of here. Yeah. That's when it gets fun.
Hey, I do, Caleb. I just think it's different, man. When you got this guy doing what he's doing, man, on this level. Like if I was Dalton Knecht, like you don't want him to be boastful about it. I think he's handling it the right way. But in the sense, man, it may be to his detriment that he doesn't sell himself enough. You know what I'm saying? Like the national media is kind of, you get that Opie, you know what I mean, country boy flavor from him, and it's like, oh man, that's a good kid right there. You know what I'm saying? Like I think if he was a little bit more bad guy, the spotlight may shift to him a little bit more. But I want him to be him. I'm just saying, man. Could you imagine if it was me?
Yeah, but Ron in person, because I had a little date night thanks to Banks and Jones. The show's represented by Banks and Jones with my wife. And there were a couple of times that he may be an under his breath trash talker that I noticed on the court that I didn't notice. I don't know if have you he's got some fire. He's kind of like Hendon Hooker. He doesn't show it.
Yes, that's it. Prime example. You hit it right on the head. He's just like Hendon Hooker. You are absolutely right. Like a competitor, you don't want to end up in the foxhole with him one-on-one because he's gonna do whatever it takes to get out of it. Like, you are absolutely right, but you got to watch closely because you'll miss it. That's the only thing. Like, you see him talking trash. You see him running back down the court after hitting 2 or 3 threes and telling people, man, he can't guard me. Like, but you got to be watching for it. And he's so unassuming that a lot of people miss it.
All right. So do I get a shout out on 3HL for that? So I still got a lot of books to move, my man.